Pottawatomie County Eco Devo provided an update on Wednesday on the closure of Caterpillar in Wamego. Executive Director Shannon Goodman announced that a regional task force convened earlier in the week to discuss the ramifications of the closure and strategize moving forward. In the task force plan, they look to find support for affected workers and also market the facility being left open by Caterpillar. The task force has also been in contact with state and federal officials to ensure they leverage all available resources. Goodman says these discussions have been productive. Caterpillar announced back on June 6th that it intends to leave Wamego by the middle of next year. The 21st annual Battle of the Badges blood drive is set for Thursday in Manhattan. First responders in Riley County will take part in the annual event, which features a friendly competition to determine who can recruit the most blood donors. Christy Ingalls of the Red Cross explains how people can get involved.
You can do so by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS, that's 1-800-733-2767, or by going online to redcrossblood.org, or you can always download the app. It's the Red Cross Blood Donor app, and make an appointment, and we will see to it that we've got shirts for you.
Our CPD were winners of last year's event, and several giveaways will be offered, including, of course, the commemorative shirt and a Ram truck. The blood drive gets underway at noon today and goes until 6 p.m., and then will be held from 7:30 to 1 tomorrow at St. Thomas More Catholic Church, 2900 Kimball Avenue in Manhattan. Riley County Commissioners will meet this morning to go over official business after they wrapped up their budget work at their last meeting on Monday. Commissioners will determine a date for their strategic planning retreat, as well as an agenda for the next intergovernmental luncheon on July 22nd. The commission will also hear reports from Jason Smith of the Manhattan Area Chamber of Commerce and Julie Gibbs from the Riley County Health Department. The meeting gets underway at 8:30 this morning. Riley County Republican candidates visited the Little Apple on Tuesday night as they met with the public inside Potterth Hall. Several candidates from different districts attended the event where they spoke to residents about the most pressing issues to Kansans. Former USD 378 Superintendent Brad Starnes is running for District 22 in the state Senate, which is currently held by Yusha Reddy, who has held that role since the start of 2023 following Senator Tom Hawk's retirement in late 2022. Starnes says he's running on 4 key campaign planks: education, freedom of liberties, fiscal responsibility, and economic and workforce development. He was also the lone Republican to advocate for improvements to mental health services.
You know, we have a responsibility to help the most vulnerable. A lot of people go, well, that's not the government's responsibility, and I understand that to a point, but it is in the Kansas Constitution that we should take care of the most vulnerable. And so following the Constitution, we need to take care of them. Churches should be actively involved, other groups, and they are. We've got to get more and more out there. We've got to get more and more help for people that need it.
Starnes looked forward to an issue-based campaign and having productive conversations with the voters about the future of Kansas.
Yeah, I think it just, I don't care what side you're on, Republican, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian, whatever age you are, we need to take care of each other. I mean, we can agree on 90% of the things that are out there and are important, and we get hung up with this little bit amount, and we need to have this compromise and work together and get stuff done.
Wabaunsee County sheriffs were alerted on Wednesday to a possible exploitation of a child. Detectives and deputies from the sheriff's office responded to the report in the 400 block of East 1st Street in Eskridge on Wednesday, where they made contact with 24-year-old Manuel Bailey of Eskridge. Following a further investigation, deputies took Bailey into custody on charges of aggravated indecent liberties with a child and aggravated child endangerment. Bailey was transported to the Wabaunsee County Jail, where he is currently confined on a bond of $100,000. At this time, the child remains reportedly safe, and the case remains under investigation. Phase 4, the Kansas Department of Transportation's pavement improvement project on K-18 and K-177 in Riley County is now underway. The northbound, westbound, and southbound, eastbound K-18, K-177 traffic will be reduced to one lane in each direction and will travel on the outside lanes while the medians are reconstructed. Turning restrictions will still be in place at the McDowell Creek Road intersection. All other side streets will now allow left turns. Permanent pavement marking will then be done in the project's final phase. Individual lane closures will occur as needed. Traffic control will be in place to alert and direct motorists. Project completion is expected by the end of August, conditions permitting. KDOT urges all motorists to be alert and obey the warning signs when approaching and driving through a highway work zone. As primary elections near, Riley County Clerk Rich Vargo is reminding residents to get registered to vote for the primary election coming up on August 6th. Registration goes through next Tuesday, July 16th, with advance voting beginning the following day. Vargo reminds people of the polling times at 110 East Courthouse Plaza for those who wish to vote early.
We'll be open 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 7:30 a.m. to noon on Friday. We will have one Saturday where we'll open for advance voting. That'll be August 3rd, 8 a.m. to noon.
Then on Election Day, more polling places will be open across the county, says Vargo.
On Election Day, there are 26 polling locations throughout the county on 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Encourage people to go out there to our website. Once again, you can type in your information. It'll give you a map of where you vote, your address to your polling place, all the information. You can pull up a sample ballot. I highly encourage people to pull up a sample ballot because a lot of people are surprised on how many races are on the ballot that they're not aware of.
This primary election is different from the March 19th presidential preference primary. This is the regularly scheduled primary that's held every election year on the first Tuesday in August. More on the day's headlines can be found at our website, newsradiokman.com and themercury.com.
K-Man's Morning News continues with a look at your sports headlines. Good morning, I'm Troy Coverdale. Big 12 Media Days continuing yesterday in Las Vegas as the conference's teams and players count down the days until kickoff of the new college football season. For K-State, that new season means eyeballs on the development of now sophomore quarterback Avery Johnson.
Definitely a different feel, but not a different approach. Definitely feel like I have more eyes on me. A lot of people looking at me because I had to take a different leadership role this year. But as far as preparation, I mean, like the work is the work. I'm going to continue to work hard and then just let the games just kind of come as is.
Johnson has spent the offseason working with new co-offensive coordinator and former Texas Tech head coach Matt Wells.
He's grown a bunch. I love Coach Wells and everything he's about. He's a really down-to-earth person. His office door is always open. I can go in there whenever I need to. And just being able to talk ball and kind of chop it up with him about stuff like that has been a lot of fun.
Among the changes in college football this season will be the allowance of sideline-to-helmet radio communication. While the quarterback will have the receiver for the offense, a linebacker will likely be assigned on defense. Among those who could have that radio in his helmet, Austin Moore.
Practiced it a little bit. We did it in spring ball. We kind of took turns. Sometimes I would have it, sometimes Austin Romaine or just other people. Coach Kleinerman would just give the signal. So we don't know exactly like when it's going to cut off and all that. We haven't practiced that, but it's definitely interesting, and I kind of like it almost better than having a signal. It makes other people have to listen more and communicate. So far it's been pretty cool.
The Cats to open their season August 31st at home against UT Martin. Moore's younger brother making his commitment yesterday to K-State, the Lewisburg linebacker Ashton Moore, having had a productive first 3 seasons at Lewisburg, becomes commitment number 15 for the Wildcats in the 2025 class. He's a 2-time All-State linebacker. Last year, Moore put together 125 tackles, 8 of them for a loss. He forced 4 fumbles, broke up 4 passes, and had 2 sacks. He's also a wrestler and runs track at Lewisburg High. Salvador Perez homered in both games, and MJ Melendez added a solo shot in the nightcap last night as the Royals bested the Cardinals 8-5, finishing off the sweep of a doubleheader. The Royals took the opener 6-4 as they've won 3 in a row to improve to 51-43. Now a season after winning just 56 games. Perez led off the 6th of Game 2 with his 16th homer of the season. It pushed the lead to 6-4.
Salvi leads off and swings and hits it high in the air. Deep left field. That's way back there. And that ball is long gone. Long home run for Salvador Perez. And the Royals' lead is 6-4.
On the day, Perez finished 3 for 7 with the 2 homers and 4 runs driven in over the 2 games. The nightcap also saw Kyle Isbell add a solo homer to lead off the 9th.
Here's the pitch. Isbell smacks it high in the air, deep to right field, chases Nootbaar back, he's out of room, it's gone! Kyle Isbell leads off the 9th with a solo homer.
Michael Wacha went 5 innings for the victory in the nightcap. Closer James MacArthur picked up his 16th and 17th saves of the season on the day as he shut down both games against the Redbirds. Beginning tomorrow night, the Royals have a set in Boston to lead them into the All-Star break that gets underway on Monday. Coverage tomorrow night at 5:30. First pitch is just after 6 o'clock. For USA Basketball, the road to the Paris Olympics has started with a W. Anthony Davis with 13 points, Steph Curry added 12, and the U.S. opened its tune-up schedule for the Paris Games by topping Canada 86-72 last night. The U.S. will play 4 more exhibitions before opening play in France later in the month. Derek White will replace Kawhi Leonard on the roster for the Olympics. Leonard missed 12 of the Clippers' final 14 games this past season with right knee inflammation, though he had said in recent days he felt fine and that his knee was doing well. White comes to the team having averaged 15 points and 5 assists a game for the NBA champ Celtics this past year. Greg Berhalter is out as U.S. men's soccer coach 9 days after his team was ousted from Copa America in the first round. That ouster flamed doubts that Berhalter was the right person to remain in charge, with the team getting set to co-host the 2026 World Cup with Mexico. Colombia is headed to the Copa title game for the first time in 23 years after a contentious win over at Uruguay, in which it played a second half without a man and players brawled with fans in the stands following the final whistle. Jefferson Lerma's 39th minute goal was enough for a 1-0 win, and Colombia advances to take on Argentina Sunday night in Miami. England, meanwhile, is through to another Euro final after its latest dramatic come-from-behind win. Ollie Watkins scored in the first minute of stoppage time to earn England a 2-1 win over the Netherlands Wednesday. That gives them a shot at Spain in the title match on Sunday. Royals baseball tomorrow night, Kansas City and Boston, opening a 3-game set at 6:10. Coverage at 5:30. Today, 2 hours of the game getting underway at 4. Mitch, AJ, and myself with you this afternoon at News Radio KMAN.